Good afternoon. I kept promising I'd make a video about the compost cycle and how I do it. I don't know how good that's coming in. I've got a new camera here, new phone. Um, Golly, that's 4.5 foot tall, and that is a lot of compost for me, far more than I need. We don't really have a place to put our leaves, so I built this box years ago, probably 10 years now. It's pressure treated 2x2s. I just framed them on a 2x4, and even with that, when they start the heat cycle, they'll still damage this kind of wood. So old pallets, old sheep wire, or goat wire, whatever you want to call it, something with a mesh that's 4 inches by 2 inches. You can get about a 15-foot piece, roll it up, link it together, and on the outside so that you can get back to the disconnect on it. I took an old garden hose and split it, put it over the cap. I've got more leaves here. I've got to get them into the bin here. So I went to flipping the pile, going through it with a pitchfork. Speaking of pitchfork, save yourself and don't buy those little half handles with a T handle. Get a full length. You can get a hay fork or compost fork. They're different. They're the ones with the heavy tines are the ones that are for digging. You need, if you want to do compost, it'll save you a lot of work to get one that has the finer tines, not the straw, but they actually are called composting or manure fork, and that one's by Razorback with a lifetime warranty. That's my buddy. It saved me a lot of back work. Bending over that half handle is just too much work for this, and it's kind of pointless after a time, but that's what it looks like, and it's not complicated. Ideally, you should have 1/3 green and 2/3 brown materials. It can be about anything. As long as you're getting a heat cycle, keep it moist, rotate it every 6 months or a year. I do mine only once a year now. I just layer it up. It doesn't all break down perfectly, but boy, it gets close. And if you don't believe in this stuff, spread it over your lawn and throw some grass seed on it. It'll grow like you've never seen. I sifted into all my soil mixes, and the worms aren't out just yet. We're too early in the spring, but when the temperatures warm up, that whole pile will be just full of night crawlers. This is some bark I bought. It was sold as mulch, but when I opened it, this stuff here was very green, and it smelt of pine trees real strong, like it was just shaved off the trunks and bagged. And so I'm going to let it weather a good while, and I'll probably sift that down for a 511 soil mix. That's an old door I made for pets. Actually, we had it inside our condo and was using it. I had it painted white and hanging in place of a door in the house. But this used to be pretty 10 years ago, but now it's just worn out. I might remake it. I don't know. I'm 50 now. My back gives me a lot of trouble. So, but that's a lot of compost. That's enough to start a garden with, and that's not even all of it. I've got all that to go and get this in. This stuff hasn't broke down fully. It was near the edges and the top, so I'm going to run it back through and let it break down a little more. And I'll show you a good use for it while we're on the video. I spread it around this tree base every year, and it's really done wonders. This tree's only maybe, you think, it couldn't be more than 8, and it has really grown. But my old Australian Shepherd used to come up here, loved it when we dug the compost bin out, and he is buried right there. And I still miss him. He, like me, had gotten old and lost his sight 2 years before he passed. But anyway, that's the video. I thought I'd show a little bit of the cycle and the process. Is there some stuff that doesn't compost, like citrus, salts? I've put peanut holes in it, and boy, they take forever to break down. You can crunch up eggshells, throw it in. The worms will love the calcium. The calcium goes to the soil. It takes a long time, but it does work. And if you pile it correctly for the heat cycle, you'll see it steaming for months and months. I've seen snow on top of these piles and just steam going to the treetops. So Okay, hope that helps everybody a little bit. Just save your leaves and your lawn trimmings and stack them like a lasagna. Keep it moist and you'll see it too. It's the bacteria and the microbes. They get into it and their friction actually builds up the heat. There's so many and so busy. That microbe colony is totally essential for this to work. Otherwise it'll just become anaerobic in a black slimy mess. I've seen that too. So be patient, keep stacking and keep the air going to it, and you'll find that composting is well worth the trouble. Thanks for watching.